Blossoms for a Lifetime. I'm here to repot about 8 succulents that has very compact soil, but I thought I would start off with a quick Alocasia how-to. So when I woke up this morning, this leaf was like this. This has been happening a lot to this Alocasia Mickey Mouse, and I have also had the leaves yellowing. This is the newest leaf here. This is the oldest leaf, but it's not yellow, and I want to try to save it. So I put this bamboo stake in here, and I'm just using a little plant clip to hold it up. I'm hoping that this will help. Based on the fold here, it's pretty set in there, so I don't know if it's gonna help or not, but I'm gonna give it a try. It holds very well, so that's good. Unfortunately, I did jam the bamboo stick into the soil, so hopefully I didn't hurt the roots too terribly, but I didn't want to pull it out of the soil. I also keep this one in a self-watering pot, which this is a very thirsty succulent, so I have to water it quite often because I put water in here on Sunday. Today is Tuesday and it's already gone and pretty dry, so I need to add some water to it, so I will be doing that soon. It looks like there's a new leaf on the way forming here, so that's very exciting. But this Alocasia Mickey Mouse is very much one of my faves, and I can't quite figure out why the leaves brown, why the leaves flop. I haven't had that happen with any of my Alocasias, so I'll try out the little stake and see how that does. I keep it in a greenhouse, so it's definitely got high humidity, but maybe I haven't been watering it enough. It could be that. Alright, that was just a little Alocasia how-to with holding those leaves up. They get heavy, I guess. I am going to bring this back up to the greenhouse and then we'll get started on repotting my succulents. Okay, I got the Alocasia back into the greenhouse, and the plan and goal today is to repot these succulents. What happens over time with succulents is that the soil gets very compacted, and then it doesn't retain water anymore. So what I do is very simple. I'm not going to propagate any of these because I have quite a few propagations in the works right now, so I'm just gonna toss all this, but I just pull off the lower leaves, cut down the stem. Maybe I'll pull that one off too. Add some new soil, and then it grows roots. These succulents I have had since the beginning. These are the ones that got me into plants, and I've had them since 2020, maybe the fall of 2020. I'm not completely sure, but I just use succulent soil. I don't mix anything with it. This works fine. So fill the pot with soil. Pretty full. And then stick the succulent stem down in there. Try to center it, and voila, it's repotted. Very simple, easiest things to repot. Why not? I left the succulent because it's purple. It turns purple in the sunlight. But if you touch the stems, the oils from your skin get on them and then they fade away and don't look as beautiful. So I try not to touch them. Sometimes that can be hard to do when you're sticking it in the soil, but this one is really tiny. Here, I'll show you what happens. So I touched that one and see it gets like the oil in your skins get on it and it turns it this darker, not as pretty color. Even I touched the ends of these and they turned colors. But once it grows, and then you don't touch it, the new leaves are fine. So this one has been growing a little funky, so it's very tiny. Itty bitty. So as I mentioned, the reason why I really do this is just to, this has nice roots. I don't think I'm going to cut it down. I'm just going to put some new soil in it because the soil was compacted, so it wasn't retaining any water. I usually only have to repot these in the summer, but for some reason, a lot of these, the soil has just become compacted, and then they've also grown quite tall and lanky. Most of these I keep in my husband's office, in his windowsill, so he gets to enjoy some succulents in his office. He does like them. I just care for them. I've never had to root them or anything. This method has worked for 4 years now. Oh, let's look at that one. Much cuter. This is a pagoda plant. I do not love how this one has grown. It does propagate in the same way that a succulent does because I have a propagation that I was very successful with, but you just break off the leaves and then new little shoots come from the leaves. As I mentioned, I'm not propagating any of these. I literally am cleaning them up and repotting them. That one is really wet. I might put this in a smaller pot. Like this. don't know if you can hear it. It's pretty windy outside. We are under a wind advisory today. There we go. Little floppy, but it'll settle out once it gets its roots established. Drop a little soil in here. All right, this is what, an elephant bush? Elephant, I don't know what it's called. It is super dry. It will not retain water, so I am going to literally just keep it as it is. It's got a nice little root system here. But I am going to add new soil. I might consider trimming it. So if you're looking or interested in getting into plants, succulents are a great way to start because they are very, very low maintenance and easy to care for. In the summer, I water them about once a week. In the winter, I water them every couple of weeks. These have needed repotted for a couple of months, probably since October, but I have quite a few Alocasias in my collection, and those are much more demanding with care, and I've acquired them rather recently, so it's been a learning curve for me, and because of that, some of my other plants have been neglected. But my point with telling you that is that succulents can take neglect pretty well and come back strong. So if you are someone that travels a lot or works a lot and you're not sure if you're going to be able to care for a plant, there are a variety of succulents that you can get that will work with your lifestyle. I need to consider trimming it, but I'm not going to do that right now. All right, I don't know what this next one is called. I'll have to look it up and I can put it on the screen for you. But I love the leaves on this. Now they're looking wrinkly, which means it's not getting enough water. And that is because it's not absorbing water. So we're gonna give it some new water. Or some new soil so that it will absorb water. If I can even get it out of here. Ooh-wee. I don't know if you could see that, but I grabbed at the base so I wouldn't tear anything. So the old soil, like this pile of soil here, whenever I finish all of my repotting for everything, any old soil that I have, I just go out and pour on our property in little holes. And then, excuse me, it grows, the grass grows up through those holes, through the soil, and then we don't have holes in our property. So that's kind of how I recycle it, I guess. I'm not sure if I said this, but I definitely need to figure out how to propagate this one. I've never propagated it. I've never cut it. I've just let it do its thing. And it's a little taller than I would like it to be. It's got a healthy root system. I didn't cut anything off of it. I literally am just giving it new soil so that it will absorb water. It is also kept in the windowsill of my office, and I lean it against the wall, this taller one right here, because otherwise, as you can see, it flops. So lean it against the wall holds it up. And that's perfect. Until I do some research and figure out how to propagate it or cut it back. But it's a very cool succulent. I just love the way the leaves grow on it. And the new growth has like red on the stems, which is really cool. Okay. Only two more. These are ghost plants. It's a succulent that is probably one of my favorites. The leaves turn this deep purple color in the sunlight, so when it gets sun stressed. It's from my original collection. Easy to propagate. I have gifted my students with these like crazy. Just an all-around winner. And I actually have two of these, so the next one that I'm going to repot is also the same thing. But like I said, it's my favorite, and I can't part with it. There we go. Cutie cutie. Here's the other one. The colorings on this one are just stunning. See how compacted the soil is? There's really not any kind of science, I don't think, to breaking off the leaves. I just break them off until I get it the height that I want it, and until what's remaining of the leaves is somewhat symmetrical, the best that I can. There are some that can be hard to do with. But I've also never seen any bugs on these plants. I'm sure succulents can get bugs, but I don't put any systemic release on them. I never have. There we go. Perfect. And they are now repotted, and I have very little cleanup here. I am going to water them. I'm going to move the camera over. I'm going to water them all, and then we will be done. I do not use tap water for any of my plants. I use water from our dehumidifier. I've had great success with that. So it's recycled water from the air, and I collect it in a bucket, and then I just use that to water everything. And then I also have like a bucket outside where I capture rainwater, and I use that when it's rained, and I can use it. For example, I usually water on Sundays, or I'll do a check-in and water what needs watered on Sundays. And we had a lot of rain Friday and Saturday, I believe. And I was able to use all of that rainwater to water my plants. I did not have to use any of my dehumidified water, which is great because I didn't have a lot of dehumidified water because we'd have so much dry air lately. So generally I will water until the water comes out the bottom, but since these don't all really have roots yet, I'm not going to do that. Thank you so much for tuning in to my video today, and I hope that it was helpful for you. If it was, I would appreciate if you would like and subscribe to my channel for more future plant content. Bye-bye.